Now let's say I have to declare a variable which is short unsigned int x. So this is a variable and I have to declare x as short, unsigned and integer. So as you can see that we are getting such a big name here. So we can use typedef to make this particular declaration small. So this takes us to further discussion of user-defined data types. So the two user-defined data types that we are going to talk today about is typedef and enumeration. First, let's discuss typedef. Writing the declaration again, we had short unsigned int x. Now, let's say I have to declare few more variables like this. So it becomes very big, This is a big thing to write again and again in the program. So what we can do is that we can give a short name to this particular thing. And for this, we use typedef. So what we do is, we write typedef short unsigned int, let's say UI. So I am giving an alias or I'm giving a short name to this big name as UI. So I can next time whenever I have to define something as short unsigned int, I can simply write UIX, y. So this will be equivalent to short unsigned int x, y. So this is one of the use case of typedef. Another example could be, let's say, write typedef float fl. So in my code I can simply write fl x, y. So whenever I'm using fl, that is equivalent to float x, y. We use typedef quite a lot when we talk about structures. So this was all about typedef. Now let's go on to another user-defined data type called enumerations. Now let's talk about another user-defined data type, enumeration. Before I go on to tell you directly that what is enumeration, let's take a scenario. Let's take that you have to maintain a data type person, or let's say you have a variable person, and this person can either be sitting, standing, or walking. So these are three states of a person: sitting, standing and walking. And at a particular time, only a person can either be walking, standing or sitting. Now, how can you obtain this in your particular program? So what you can do is, let's say you can have three constants, integer constants, let's say, const sit is equal to 1. Let's say you do this, you have another constant stand equal to 2, walk equal to 3. So let's say you make three constant integers, and for this particular person, let's say you name this as int person, and whenever you have to represent that the person is sitting, you can simply do person equal to 1, or for person standing you can do person equal to 2, person equal to 3. So now there are several things here. Number one, you have to maintain three different variables, right? Three different constants, sorry. So you are having three different constants. Number one. Another point is that, let's say you have a very big program and let's say the declaration is here, and this is where you are putting person equal to 1. For understanding that what does person equal to 1 refers to, whether it refers to sitting, standing or walking, or for that matter what is the value, what is it referring to, we will have to go here and see that what does 1 corresponds to. It corresponds to sitting. So I'm not saying that it cannot be done in this way, but it could be done even in a simple way or more handy way using enumeration. So what we do in enumeration is we declare a data type person. We have a keyword enum. Enum is the keyword here, and we do enum person, and we have three values: sit, stand, walk, semicolon. So what is happening here? We declared a data type person, and the person can either be sitting, standing and walking, and I've said that person can have these three values: sit, stand and walk. So what happens in enum is these values get an integer constant by default. So it starts from 0. Sit will have value as 0, stand will have value as 1, and walk will have value as 2. So by default an integer value is given to or assigned to these three particular things. These particular values here are also known as enumerators. So I'll repeat. These are enumerators which by default have value as 0, 1 and 2. So the first one has value 0, the second has value 1, the third has value 2. So this is how we declare or define an enumeration. So what have we done here? We have used the keyword enum. This is the new data type that we have created. This is the user defined data type. We will see that how we will use this data type. And this data type can have three values: sit, stand and walk. Now let's see that how do we use enum in a program. Now let's see how do we use enum. So we have a enum here. We have defined the user defined data type person. The person can sit, stand or walk. Now we have int main here. Here we are declaring enum variable. We are declaring enum variable here. Now what we are doing, we are declaring a variable of data type person, and this particular p can have values either sit, stand or walk. So what we are doing here is that we are assigning value sit to p. Now if I try to print the value of p, we get since sit was having value 0 here, sit is having value 0, stand as 1 and walk as 2. So the sit, if you try to print p, we get the value as 0. So this is one way we can declare enum variable. So here we are declaring enum variable and we are using it at this particular place. The other way to declare enum variable is, let's say here when we are writing enum, what we can do is we can simply write enum person sit, stand, walk, and just after closing the curly braces, what we are doing, we are putting a semicolon here. So what we do is that before semicolon, I declare this particular enum variable, which is p. Now we can go on to use this p in the similar manner. So let's say I have int main, and I can simply do p equal to stand. And if we print this particular p, we get the value as 1. So these are two ways in which we declare enum variables and we use them. So there are few things to note in case of enum. Let's see them one by one. So initially we saw that we were not giving any values to the enum members. So here we had simply done sit, stand and walk. And they were getting the value 0, 1 and 2 by default. If we want, we can give our own values as well. So I can do here sit equal to 2, stand equal to 3 and let's say walk equal to 6. Now if we declare a person p and if I try to give the p as value walk, and if I try to print p, we get the value as, if I try to do cout p, we get the value as 6. 6 is printed. Now this is one thing that we can do in enum. Another thing to note here is that since p is of data type person, if we try to do something like this, if we try to do p is equal to, let's say, 3, then this will give me a compilation error. Why? Because 3 is of data type integer and p is of data type person. So we cannot, the underlying value is an integer. I know that if we assign value as walk to p, we get 6. That is an integer, but we cannot directly assign 3 to p. This gives me an error. So this is one thing that we should note. Enum has more use cases. Enum is also used in switch. So we will talk about this particular use case when we are talking about switch statements. Apart from that, I will discuss one more use case of enum. So let's say we have enum button, and the button can have font either as, let's say, bold, italics, and let's say underline. Underline is not a font, but just let's say these are 3 things. So let's say the bold is 1, italic is 2, and the underline is 3. Now let's say I want to make a button and I want to apply bold as well as italics. So what we can do is, we can do button b is equal to bold or italics, bitwise or italics. So what happens in this bitwise or is that we will talk about this bitwise or. As of now, try to understand here. What we are doing is just understand the concept that we are saying that button B will have bold as well as italics. So it will be something that is bold as well as italics. So this is also something that we can do. This is the bitwise operator that we can perform on enum values. We will be talking about this to a great extent when we're talking about operators, and this is how you will understand. So we will be coming across enum every now and then, and we will practicing enum in that way. So that was all about enum. So now we have one more data type that we did not discuss. So we discussed 2 data types, user defined data types. These 2 user defined data types are not something without which you cannot do anything. But if you use that, your code becomes much more clean and handy. Now, there is one data type which we did not talk about, which is called void data type. So void is again a fundamental data type, but we don't use void with variables. We use void with either pointers or functions. So if I write something like this, void x, this will give me an error because there cannot be a variable with data type void. But we can use it with a function or with a pointer. We will discuss about function and pointers in much greater detail, and then we will decide the reference of void in these both cases. As of now, just know that void is not applicable for variables. So that was all about data types.